Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock p.m. Kitty Hawk Town Council. We're in the Smith Meeting Room, September 8th, 2025. It's amazing how fast this year is going, but it's going. But thank you all for being here, those of you who are here and those of you who are watching from home. If you would and you're able to stand, please join us in a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Council, I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda, please.
So moved.
Motion made by Charlotte. Second.
Second?
Second by Dylan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you. Next, we have a presentation of financial report. Ms. Liliana. And Council, when she's finished, obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Good evening, Council. I'm here this evening to present the preliminary financial statements as June 30, 2025. These statements are still considered preliminary because we are in the process of finalizing the year-end figures. Once all numbers are confirmed and reviewed, we will provide a complete and updated financial report. We're going to start with the Fund 10 operations, which is the day-to-day operations. Revenues. The primary source of the revenue of the town continues to be taxes, followed by permits and fees and intergovernmental allocation, such as power bill and various grants. In this slide, you see three columns. The original budget at the start of the fiscal year. The second column is the amended budget made during the year. And the third one, the actual collections of the revenues. Let me highlight a few points regarding the revenues. Share revenues. We have kept a very close look into the share revenues for the fiscal year 24 and 25. The share revenues came in below the budget. This underperformance is mainly due to the tax rate increase in two neighborhood towns, which impact our share of regional distribution, particularly in occupancy and sales tax. Now, in the positive side, the interest and earnings from our investment deposit exceed the projections for the second year in a row, bringing an additional $350,000 over the budget. We also allocate additional funds from the general fund to support capital projects, the 168 sidewalk project, and for the new police department. Let's take a look at the expenses for that fund operations. In this slide, you're going to see all the departments with the original budget amended in the actual. All the departments remain with their allocated budget for the fiscal year. However, the expenditures exceed the current year revenue collections. This, and I'm going to clarify this, is not due to a shortfall in cash, but rather the planned use of the fund balance, existing cash on hand for these projects that we allocate, the 168 sidewalk and the police department contingency and furniture. That is the reason. It's not because our expenditures were higher than budget. It's because we allocate this from the general fund. Looking at the unassigned fund balance, we start this fiscal year with $8,181,919. We estimate that we only use $856,000 for this fiscal year, significantly less than the original plan. The estimated remaining unassigned fund balance at June 30, 2025 is $3,825,887. That is the fund funding that you had available to be allocated to any project that is not restricted. Remember, 3.5 million is already restricted by policy internally. So this is, at the end of June 30, how much fund the town has to be allocated to anything else. Let's move to the Fund 41, the capital project for the new police department. This project was funded through three main sources. $5,110,000 from the town's general fund, $1.2 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, commonly referred as the COVID grant, and $2,620,000 carry over from the initially joint EMS and police department project that was not pursued. The total budget for this project was $8,935,369. The expenditures. The main expenditure for this project was the purchase of the land for $4,107,000, the construction itself for $3,617,000, and then followed for other expenditures like the design and construction management, $352,000. The original repairs that we had to do, if you all remember when we purchased the property, there were certain things that we had to do there, was $236,000. Then the equipment, $128,000, the furniture, $230,000, the special inspections, agent inspection, $5,000. In conclusion, our revenues were $8,939,000, and our expenses were less than before. We ended up the project within the budget, under budget, with a remaining balance of $205,000. I'm pleased to report that we know that the project has been completed, and while there is a few standing invoices, the project comes under budget, and it was completely using the town-owned resources without incurring any debt. The town ended the fiscal year in a very strong financial position. While we experienced a shortfall of $290,000 in occupancy and sales tax, this was offset by the higher than expected interest earnings. We actually had original plan $1,572,000 from the fund balance to support the two projects that were listed there. However, thanks to the higher than expected collection and certain revenues and controlled spending, we only used approximately $856,000. I want to thank you and take a moment to express my gratitude to the staff for their responsible and careful use of the town financial resources, the department heads for their excellent budget management, the town manager for her vision, optimism, and unwavering diligence, the town council for your support to the staff, the leadership, and the town manager, and to our citizens for your engagement, participation, and support to our new initiatives. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Liliana, I think Dylan has a question.
Sure.
This town is in great financial state, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? We have been,
Yes, you
and we
have.
will continue to be.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do, Liliana.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Liliana. Just had a quick question. A couple slides back, I think it's a simple explanation, but I just want to clarify. The budget had the 13,866,000. Yes, that one. And then on the one of the pages of the reports you gave us has the year-to-date, which is that 12,734 number, 12,734,000. And it had the available funds. That's the difference of those two, of the 1.1 million. But
Yes.
the note under that says fund summary, and it's showing the deficit here of this, and it shows the revenues is 12
Revenue-based
million.
expenditures, yes.
So the expenses stayed the same. They're the 12,734,000. Why is the revenues different than the amended budget on this?
Because, let me show you here.
How do we go from having 1.1 surplus to having the 700 deficit?
In these slides, when you see the fund balance appropriated, okay, we amend the budget in the revenue side because we expect to bring from the general fund that money. Is 1,884,000 fund balance appropriated. Do you see that? Okay. So when we plan to bring money from the reserve from the general fund, we have to amend our revenues and our expenditures. We basically do that, right? And we expect to bring that money for the sidewalk project for the police department. But in reality, when the revenues are more, we don't have to. We don't have to at the end. So what you see there in the 12 million is the actual collections, the money that we collected. But the revenues there, you see no collection? Because we only actually balance what we need. We don't actually, I don't bring the whole entire money.
I got you. Okay,
That makes sense?
it does. Yes, ma'am.
Didn't ask you.
Thank you. Yep.
I have a question too.
Sure.
You have it, grant Dare County Tourism Board for $22,896. What is that specifically for?
I think that was the lights.
What?
Sidewalk lights, the crosswalk lights.
Is that the one we recently received?
Yeah, and this
Okay.
fiscal, this past
Because it
fiscal.
doesn't label what it's for, I was just curious.
But for the sidewalk?
I'm just asking what we've had a few grants since I've been on the
Yeah, but
tourism.
we don't receive those grants until actually we spend the money.
Gotcha.
They've been allocated to the town, but we don't receive it until we actually receive the money.
No, I understand.
However, we pay the money to the Department of Transportation.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the street light grant.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Right.
Yes, it's recorded in these revenues.
It'd
Yes,
just be
sir.
nice to see, instead of a bunch of numbers, it'd be nice to see what it's specific to. Because we've had a few grants from the tourism board since I've sat on the board. So I was just curious what it was for.
Yes, it's there and under grants, intergovernmental, it's under the line.
Right.
But the report can be very in detail.
Sure. And then that leads me to one more question. How much do we have left from the tourism board for law enforcement to sit at the intersection during the summer months? How much money do we have left in that account for that cost?
We have not billed them yet. We haven't received it. When we finish the fiscal year, we'll bill the tourism board for the
I understand.
hours.
Right. But
Yes,
There's no money necessarily.
there is no money sitting in there.
so last year when I helped, or last year, year before, when you and I spoke and I called the board and we got it refunded, was there a dollar amount that it was funded for or just a time frame?
It's a time frame,
Gotcha. Okay. Are we still good on that?
as far as I know.
Yes,
I mean, either party has the right to discontinue it, and neither party has.
Sure, but we're sitting okay for like, say, next season. Okay.
Thank
We
goodness
hope.
we're finished for this year, I
I
think.
just wanted to know before I get off the board.
Yeah,
we hope.
thank you, David. Any more questions, council?
I'd just like to thank Liliana. I called her, I guess it was probably the day or before the police open house, because I was thinking we might have received some questions, and I just wanted to thank you. I called her and thanked her, and it was very helpful, and so now I have this also, but thank you very much, Liliana.
And the surplus from the construction project will also go back in the general fund, anything that's left over. So instead of 3.8 million, if it's
gonna be a little
200, it will go into the, unassigned fund balance.
Thank you. Council, any more questions?
One more. That 3.8, is that before we've chipped in for the sidewalk trail along
Yeah.
the highway? So
No, we've already sent,
that's all after we've paid for that? Okay.
We
This
had to
one?
s- We had to send in our share so the project could
yeah.
To even
move
have-
forward.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah. yeah. All right, anything else, council? Thank you, Liliana, great job.
Thank you.
Liliana.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. Lauren, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
Yes, sir. We have 5 people signed up, and our first is Jimmy Shears.
Come on up, sir. We ask everyone in public comment, please speak directly into the mic so we can hear you, and you're limited to 3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Town Council. I just want to come before y'all tonight to introduce myself. I know a good amount of y'all. My name is Jimmy Pierce. I live in Southern Shores. I've been a Dare County resident for 37 years. I'm a native of Bertie County, born and moved there when I was down here when I was about 23 years old, and been here ever since. I've been in law enforcement for 40 years. Worked with the mayor for a good portion of his career, and I was worked with a small town in Bertie County, Orlando Police Department. That was my first place I worked. I left there, went to Hertford County. I was a deputy sheriff in Hertford County, where I got to work with our current sheriff, Doug Dowdy. Worked very close with him, and we've always been good friends. When I left there, I came here, was a deputy sheriff here in Dare County. I worked with Miss Walker's sister, Nell Miller, as a deputy sheriff here in Dare County. I was patrol, narcotics investigator, and then criminal investigator, and also a trainer and field training officer with Dare County. I moved on to the State Alcohol Law Enforcement Division, where I was a special agent for 22 years. I retired 11 years ago and went directly to work for Nags Head Police Department. I was 48. I wasn't ready to retire yet, but I did retire from the state and continued on with Nags Head. I've been with Nags Head for 11 years now. I will say I have probably been in every aspect of law enforcement during my career. I've worked everything from investigating homicides to sex crimes to federal drug cases. There's not a lot I haven't done. I've been in the training aspect also. I'm a specialized firearms instructor. I'm a specialized driving instructor. I've been teaching our new cadets at BLET at COA for about over 30 years now, about 35 years. I have always wanted to be the sheriff my entire career. It's something I always have my sights set on, and I know I can do a good job, and I have far more experience than anybody else that's running for sheriff. I would like to have y'all support me and ask you to vote for me if you're so inclined. And after the meeting or in the future, if you have any questions for me, feel free to contact me. I have a website, it's pierceforsheriff.com. Have a Facebook page, Elect Jimmy Pierce, Dare County Sheriff. And my phone number is on the website. So if any of y'all would like to speak with me, I'd be glad to speak with you. Thank y'all for listening to me, and have a good night.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Very much. Thank you. Lauren?
Yes, sir, we have Chuck Bush, and he asked to show a couple photos.
Okay.
Along with this public comment.
Come on up, sir. Jimmy, you did a great job on the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, or evening, I guess now. Good evening. My name is Chuck Bush. I live in, my wife and I live on Harbor Bay Drive, and we've lived there for the last 11 years. Just wanted to talk briefly about an emerging safety issue that I feel that we have on the multi-use path that runs from North Shore to Bay Drive. It is a great asset for the community and for Kitty Hawk. I walk my dog every day on that pathway. There are many people, residents, visitors, use the pathway, walkers, joggers, families, bicyclists, I knew I was gonna mess that up, both for pleasure and sometimes for speed. And ever increasingly, e-bikes, scooters, and the occasional golf cart. The pathway also provides a great shortcut between certain parts of the town. Therein lies the problem. It's getting crowded. And then the speed differential between my dog and myself and a speeding bicyclist is a factor of 10. I'm going 2 miles an hour, he may be going 20, or she. As it is for a family with kids in a stroller and a teenager on an e-bike, reaction times are quickly going down to seconds. The execution of safety is a study on how to prevent near misses before they become accidents. Just what it is. So right now we're having too many near misses, my view, and there's a lot of shouting sometimes on a crowded 10-foot wide pathway. So what can we do? Well, so signage is probably one of the best things. And this is a picture at That sign up there is, probably needs to be replaced or increased in size, but there's a lot going on in an 8-inch by 16-inch sign right there. We can go back to the other one. So I defy a bicyclist going 15, 20 miles an hour to find that sign where it is right now. It's behind the dog poop bag station. So you can't see it, so why have it? So we need some better signage. We also, and as we do it, I don't think we need thousands of dollars of signs, but as we go through it, either replacement or relocation of some signs. The other is, I think we're gonna have to post a speed limit. I would recommend posting a 10-mile-per-hour speed limit sign so you can take that speed differential between a walker with a dog or a family and a fast-moving bicycle, or, we'll get to it, motorized vehicle, and so that we can all share the pathway. I think we need to share this pathway. I don't want to take anybody off of it. I think we just have to slow things down a bit. No motorized vehicles. There's a sign that says so, but there's motorized vehicles all the time on that. My wife and I once didn't challenge, but talked to a guy in a, believe it or not, a golf cart, and he says, "Oh, it's not motorized, it's the battery." Okay, battery motor, got that. So they're running around at 25 miles an hour. Scooters, and the kids are going to school on e-bikes and scooters now. So they're using the pathway as well.
Are you close to the end, Mr. Bush?
Very close, very close.
We're out of time.
I know. So the last thing I'd like to say is we need to figure out the e-bike rules for the pathway. That's something that needs to be done. The state has some laws, but it's up to localities to do that. So I know I'm over. Thank you for your.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for your.
Thanks, sir.
Comment on that now, or
Not during public comment.
is that, there's more?
At the end, we'll talk about
I
it.
know there's anybody else.
Yeah. Next,
Yes, Peggy Langley.
come on up, Ms. Peggy. Folks, please adhere to the 3-minute time limit. It's there for a reason. Come on up, Ms. Peggy.
Hi,
How are you?
great.
Good.
My name is Peggy Corbell Langley. I'm glad to be here tonight, and I'm here tonight on behalf of Alston Cemetery Board, and we would like to invite you and everybody here and everybody out in TV land to come to our event on Saturday, September the 27th. It is the Kitty Hawkers Ancestral Day, and what we're going to do is the first 2 hours, we're actually going to be cleaning the graveyard for our loved ones that are there. And then at 12 o'clock, we're going to have a family picnic. And that's where the history and the fun starts. We have lots of information, lots of Kitty Hawkers will be there sharing history to anybody that would like to hear about it. So we would cordially invite you to come and join us. It is a great time to connect with Kitty Hawk history. So please mark your calendars for September the 27th. Like I said, at 10 o'clock, we're going to start the cleanup part, but at 12 o'clock is when we're going to actually have our picnic lunch. Bring yours, and we'll have a good day. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
very
you.
much. Lauren?
Yes, Timberland Duncan.
Come on up, please.
Hello, I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys and the citizens of Kitty Hawk. My name is Timberland Duncan. I am a researcher with NC State and also affiliate of the Coastal Institute. And I will be doing surveying in your community, and so I also wanted to extend an offer for the results of that study. So I will be looking at sense of place, and so the community's heritage and connection to the land, but most important in regards to coastal mitigation. And so the plan is to use what the people say about how they're connected to their natural environment to their willingness to accept different coastal mitigation efforts. So I will be around for the month of September doing my pilot study, and I plan to be back in the beginning of the year, but for right now I'm just gonna be hopefully doing a lot of volunteer work, so I thank her for mentioning another one for me. If you have any other ones or ways for me to connect with the community and any kind of service, I would appreciate that if you want to connect after.
Kimberly, are you working with the Coastal Reserve?
No.
No. Who were you working with?
So I'm at NC State, and then I'm an affiliate of the Coastal Studies Institute.
Coastal Studies Institute,
So I'll
okay.
be doing probably Duck all the way to Manio, all of those communities, so yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan.
Thank you.
Great job, thank you.
Kimberly? Kimberly? Oh, Kimberly.
Lauren?
I'm sorry. Kimberly.
Couple of things, quickly.
Please state your name and
Oh,
address.
I'm
please.
sorry, my name is Nellie Healy. I live in Kitty Hawk, 5205 Barlow Lane, Kitty Hawk.
Thank you.
A couple of things. One of them is I own the property at 828 Kitty Hawk Road where the drainage ditch is that runs under the roadway. And that is totally clogged right now with branches and trees that have fallen in. And it's my understanding that that has been cleaned in the past, but it hasn't been done in quite a while. We are in storm season, and that presents a major problem to my properties. There's 3 houses there. I provide housing for 3 local residents who need to go to work every day and live there. So if that is clogged, and we have a flood, and I have pictures I can submit to the council here, then that would be a major problem for us. We had 3 families without housing. The second thing is, I don't know if the community is aware of this, but I went to get my COVID shot at CVS Pharmacy, and I was turned down and told to get a prescription. I went to my provider to get a COVID shot, and they told me that they were not allowed to make prescriptions for persons. And it's my understanding from my watching television that anyone over 65 should be able to walk into any pharmacy and get a COVID shot, especially if you have underlying conditions. So I already know 2 people that have COVID, and I am very concerned for my own personal health and for that of my community, and I would like to see those restrictions removed. I'll be traveling soon, so it's my understanding from my provider here in Centennial and Kitty Hawk that there's no decision being made on this until September 18th, and I think that's going to be a lot late for some people. And then the third thing, and this is one of interest to me, it's my understanding that we own in this community 12 acres of property, that the town owns 12 acres of property behind the visitor center. And that said, I go with fair frequency over to the community senior center over in Kill Devil Hills. And I also use their recreation department. And it's come to my attention over the years that now we're bursting at the seams over there, that we don't have any room to do anything, and they're constantly shuffling people around to make room for this and room for that. And it occurred to me that it's time maybe that we started exploring the possibility of having a community center of our own. Right now, I'm a member of the Dunes of Derrick Garden Club. I'm on the board, and we can't find a place to meet half the time. You know, we're always constantly bouncing around for places to meet. So we would like to have community activities here and not have to depend on Manio or Kill Devil Hills to have activities for our families and our children. Those are the 3 items.
Thank you, ma'am, very much. I'm afraid the COVID issue is a much bigger issue than
we can do.
we can do, but I agree with
But I think the community needs to be informed that it's not available.
you. Yeah, I agree with you. Lauren, anyone else signed up? Okay. Anyone else wish to speak at tonight's public comment about any subject? Anyone? Okay, thank you, everyone that spoke. Council, I need a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, please.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jeff. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Charlotte. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you. We had no items removed from the consent agenda. We have no planning. We have no new business. We have no old business. Reports from town manager.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to relay a compliment for our planning department. We are excited to say that the NC License Plate Agency reopened yesterday in a new location in Dare County here in Kitty Hawk. They're located at 3809 North Croatan Highway in the Sea Dune Shops. They're open weekdays 9 to 5, and we're happy to have them here. They sent a note to myself and town council from the contractors who opened the office, Denise Hall and Josh Bass. And the note read, I just wanted to take a moment to let you all know how wonderful your planning department has been to work with. Anything we needed help with, they have answered quickly. When they heard we were looking for space, anytime they would hear of a vacancy, they would email us to let us know. Although everybody I've talked with there has been great, I would particularly like to thank Sue Lewis, as she is one of that got the majority of my questions. Just today, we needed help closing out a permit, and Sue and the building inspector got it done in a few hours. What service. They have just been a friendly, wonderful group of people, and they have made this process very easy for us. We are glad we made the decision to locate in Kitty Hawk, and we hope to be there for many years. And that's the kind of thing that makes a town manager's heart go pitter-pat. And I know how great they are, but it's so nice to hear it from someone else, yeah. Also, Thursday, September 11th, we have our public safety departments participating in the March to Remember. If you've never seen this, public safety people and lots of different people, they start at 8:46 a.m. at the Kill Devil Hills Fire Station, EMS station at 1628 North Croatan, and then they proceed to the Wright Brothers Monument. Many of them have on their duty gear and flags, and it is quite something to see, very somber, quite a compelling sight. And last but not least, the Outer Banks Jeep Invasion is coming up Friday and Saturday, September 19th and 20th. The beach crawl in Kitty Hawk has now expanded into 2 days. I think they did that last year as well. It's already sold out. Jeeps will meet at each of those days at 7 a.m. at the Bird Street Beach Access, and they will be led by our fire department, and they will drive down the beach and exit at the bathhouse. And it is one of the most popular events that they have. So that's all I have.
And they normally give us a very generous contribution too, which is great. Yeah, it's a great group. Thank you, Melody. Town Attorney.
Mayor, I have nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Town Council, let's start with David.
I want to go back to the gentleman that spoke about the multi-use path. I live in First Flight Ridge, have since 2015, so I know that path very well. Haven't had the opportunity to walk my dogs through there recently, but that will change soon, hopefully. Nonetheless, I cannot agree with you more. In fact, I'll go on further to say, when I leave First Flight Ridge and I head down to the multi-use path, I go right, go back up Beacon, and come back up Mariner. And Beacon in and of itself has a lot of speeders as well. I mean, I watched a girl literally about run into the sound on her cell phone. So how do you fix that? I don't know. To be fair, on the other side of that coin, you know, I've also been on a bicycle, and the vacationers take up the whole path too, not paying attention. So that works both ways a little bit. There's not a general fix for everything, but I do agree with more signage. But then that leads me to this: how do you patrol that?
How you enforce it?
Right? So the only thing I tell you to do what I do is yell at them. I mean, I'm serious. But it is about education, and I do think signs would be a big deal. I've long had an issue with the e-bikes. You say there's some things on the state legislature that has rules about it. My understanding is it's still considered a bicycle. So I'm going to ask Lieutenant Helms if he has a suggestion on the e-bikes.
I don't really have a suggestion, but I can tell you that it is a hybrid between the two. There's not a general statute for North Carolina at the time. All the towns are dealing with this is just
been reading lately, some towns are taking action, so we could come up with some
I think we need to.
ideas, yeah.
There are things like that to deal with e-bikes.
I mean, it's fairly new then, because
It is new.
a couple years ago, I called Lieutenant Helms, over seeing if we could enforce helmets on them. Yeah.
It's happening a little bit, so we'll see what we
So
can come
I
up
would
with.
like to, in my opinion, I definitely agree with more signage on that little cut of off Moore Shore Road. I mean, I've literally have been in this gentleman's position 100 times. Like I said, I've been in my house since 2015. I've walked that path 1,000 times. And that's why I try to do it at night, actually, after dark.
Can we share the key points about North Carolina e-bike laws?
That's up to the board.
If you
not,
would,
you can hand it
just-
to.
yeah.
Hand
Hand
it
it
to,
to
the-
Lauren,
right.
And Virginia Beach has recently started on their boardwalk doing, so, you know.
And I don't mean to come across as rude, but Virginia Beach doesn't concern me one bit. I care about Kitty Hawk and what we're doing here, and I don't mean that the way it sounds, okay?
You've got Dawkins doing and.
Understood.
This was actually Southern Shores newsletter
Right.
with the e-bike laws.
And I appreciate that information. You have my full support on trying to do something. And maybe that's something we direct Casey to look into. I don't know how to handle it, but I would like to see something done about it.
We'll come up with some thoughts and some ideas and proposals and
Sure.
get whoever we need to get involved.
Because, I mean, I guess that would be legal just as much as anything, to a certain extent. So I appreciate you speaking on it. I've been outspoken about it for years, and I think it's a major problem. And unless you live where we live, you don't realize it.
Anything else, Dave?
That's all I have to say for
Thank you,
tonight.
sir. Very good, very good. Dylan?
Just want to echo a few thanks, starting with Liliana. Thank you so much for keeping our town finances in check. And I know it's a large effort, and we certainly appreciate it. The police station open house was this month, and was a really good turnout, I think. And I want to thank Chief and Lieutenant and staff for putting that on. I think it was a really nice event. And lastly, echo Melody's thank you comment that we got from the DMV license plate agency. He's getting something like that makes us all proud, and that's a nice compliment to ALSU and the planning staff. That's all I have.
Thank you. Jeff?
I'd like to also thank Liliana, and I'll go to the bike path, a multi-use path. As far as the bikes, we're going to have to let you, we'll let Melody look into that. But as far as the signs, one time it was overgrown, and I just asked Willie if it could get cut back, and he did it about as fast as it came out of my mouth, asking him to do it. So I think we could ask Willie to reposition these signs, and so I think you'll see those move pretty soon. Also, I'd like to also invite everybody out to the cemetery. It's always a good time. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Jeff. Schultz?
Yes, Nellie, I'm going to have to correct you on the 12 acres of property. The NC State owns that. Derek, we do not own it.
Rescue Welcome Center is NC State property, state
Yeah.
of North Carolina.
So, but Kitty Hawk does not own it. I wish they did, but they don't. And thank you, Liliana, for your work. That's an amazing job you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Schultz. Melody, as far as Ms. Healy's concerned about the drainage ditch being clogged, I think Willie was on top of that. Can you check with?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. Because that is an issue with hurricane season right here.
I have a lot of notes, lots of notes tonight.
All right, good, thank you. And again, I agree with everyone, the open house at the police station was a wonderful, huge turnout. Every department in this town worked hard on that project at one point or another, and a lot of departments were there that night for the open house. So thank you all that came. Thank you for all the hard work. Anything else, council? Okay, if not, I'm going to make a motion that we go into closed session regarding North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3 to consult with the town attorney regarding matters protected within the attorney-client privilege and to preserve that privilege. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dylan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. Folks, we are in closed session, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave the room, please, and thank you so much for coming.